2024 Lok Sabha elections. Tamil Nadu has always been very interesting, not just because of the strong rival opposition parties which are so regional, but also because of larger than life political figures. What is Dravidian politics? Why is it so difficult for national parties like BJP to penetrate the hearts of Tamilians? Despite the strong regional parties, why has BJP decided to fight alone this time? And who is behind this BJP strategy, which is so different from rest of the states, and who will win this time? So let's talk about all these interesting things. We are ready with video 2 phase 1 of election series. Prithvi, are you ready?
Let's get into it.
Let's start with understanding the Dravidian politics.
As the name suggests, Dravidian politics center around Dravidian community settled in South India. It initially started as a social justice movement opposing the caste equation, making sure everybody is treated as equal in the society. But slowly, since independence, it morphed into something which is fighting against the North Indian and the Brahmin domination in politics.
I think that also explains why is it becoming so difficult for national parties. You know, it could be
Correct.
BJP, Congress to penetrate Tamilians' hearts, because Tamilians, like any other community, any other state, are so proud of their language, Tamil, which is one of the oldest languages in India, and also about their roots and culture. It's not about the people, but it's about the regional parties who created that feeling in Tamilians that these national parties will impose Hindi and also will dilute Tamil culture.
Correct, yeah. It's mainly done by the political parties for their benefit.
Yeah. So the main regional parties, DMK and Anna DMK, which reminds us of, you know, the great stalwarts like Karunanidhi, Jayalalitha, MGR above everyone else. So let's talk about the parties, the main parties.
Yeah, so as you said, Karunanidhi is the face of DMK for such a long time. And right now, Karunanidhi's son, Stalin, is the head of DMK. He's a very strong leader. He's a classic Parivarvad because he's already prepping his son to be the successor of his party. And is very powerful in DMK that, you know, there are no dissenting voices within the party against him. And also he is a very strong leader, you know, which shows that even other charismatic movie stars like Rajnikant, Kamal Hassan and even Vijay recently entered, they're not able to make that impact in the politics.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and if you remember, Annamalai joined Rajnikant when he entered politics and then switched to BJP.
Yeah, and let's talk about that interesting bit, you know, in Tamil elections where, you know, about that spectacular one-sided wins.
Oh yeah, so if you see the results, let's look at the Lok Sabha elections last two times. 2014, Anna DMK scored 37 and in 2019, DMK scored 38 out of 39. And even if you look at Lok Sabha assembly elections, one party always gets around 200 seats, whereas the other party gets like 4 to 5 or like maximum 10 seats. This kind of one-sidedness never happens in any other state.
Yeah.
And it always alternates between DMK and AIDMK.
Yeah. So if demigods like Rajnikant is not able to make an impact in Tamil politics, like, you know, he's not able to stand against DMK and Anna DMK, why is the national party BJP, like, you know, coming all the way from Delhi and not choosing to form an easy alliance with Anna DMK and fight DMK? That would be an easier, sensible approach, right?
There is one problem. Since Jayalalitha's demise, there is a vacuum in AIDMK leadership, and also it is losing prominence in Tamil Nadu. So it doesn't make sense for BJP to ally with a party which is getting weaker and weaker, because then, you know, obviously associating with it, BJP also will get weaker and weaker. So they're kind of playing a long-term game where they want to stand opposing DMK and they want to be the main opposition party, and they want to completely replace AIDMK as one of the strong parties in Tamil Nadu. So this is going to benefit them in the long run, not just this Lok Sabha election.
So which means that BJP doesn't want to be an ally of Anna DMK because they want to completely replace Anna DMK.
Correct.
Yeah. And also, who is the mastermind behind this? Maybe we will quickly think about Modi, Amit Shah, but no. The mastermind behind this is Annamalai Kuppusamy. He is now being considered as, like, you know, the Amit Shah of South India, similar to Himanta Biswa Sharma of Northeast. So he's definitely creating waves. So let's talk a little bit about Annamalai and how did he actually convince Modi and Amit Shah to adapt this unique strategy in Tamil Nadu, which is so different from rest of the states.
You're right. Annamalai is extremely talented and a bright individual. He is an IPS officer who joined politics. So obviously he's got that charisma and also the intelligence with him. And it's not easy to convince Modi or Amit Shah. And if you look at their strategy in the rest of the country, you know that they're fighting for every single Lok Sabha seat this time because they want to cross 370. But Annamalai managed to convince them, saying that you need to let go of some seats now for a big political benefit in the future. So that is a very big achievement in itself. That we'll see what happens in the elections. Fine, but convincing Modi and Amit Shah is such a big achievement for Annamalai already.
Yeah, it's a bold strategy, definitely. And also it reminds me of Annamalai's words, like, his words are resonating in my mind, where he said that BJP has to create a brand identity in Tamil Nadu.
Correct.
So we spoke about DMK, Anna DMK, BJP, but how can we forget Congress? Especially when Congress has a huge history with Tamil Nadu. So, nobody can forget Rajiv Gandhi, bomb blast, LTTE, Kachativu. It's all intriguing incidents which happened in the history and which can never be erased from our minds. So, let's talk about that part of things and the association of Congress with DMK.
Yeah, so interesting enough, DMK stands for the local politics and Dravidian template, but they've always been an ally of Congress. So looking back to last 30-40 years, even with the time of Indira Gandhi, DMK has always been close to Congress. So it is a kind of an interesting marriage between these two parties which stand for different ideologies. And Kachativu, you mentioned, Prime Minister has recently invoked this one. It's a very sensitive issue because this is a small island between India and Sri Lanka that Indira Gandhi gave away to Sri Lanka as a gift. And obviously what that means is that the local fishermen in Tamil Nadu, they lost the fishing rights around that area, and it's a big problem for them. So obviously DMK came out and said, look, we are not party to this. And then Jaishankar recently said everybody is aware. See, he released some files which says that DMK was aware of this decision but hasn't opposed Congress at that time.
Okay.
So it is a very interesting, politics of convenience on behalf of DMK.
Yeah, so I think this explains why we say that there are no permanent friends and enemies in politics.
Correct.
It's all about a situational game, and circumstances decide who are the friends and who are the rivals. So now Congress in Tamil Nadu is merely an ally of DMK. So if we talk about DMK, the strong ruling party which is shining even more brighter under Stalin's leadership, son of Karunanidhi. And Stalin, he's a very powerful face of DMK, and also the successor is ready already, his son Udayanidhi Stalin. And not just that, it's not just about the leadership, but it is also about the way they are managing the media and also the money.
Correct.
They have that financial muscle. Like if we look at the Karunanidhi family's relatives, nephews, which are the Marans, they own Sunrisers Hyderabad, Sun TV, SpiceJet Airways. Like if we switch on the TV in Tamil Nadu, it is very hard to not see the faces of Stalin and DMK. That is how much they control the media. So looking at the power they have over the entire state, it really surprises me how the young leader Annamalai is going to fight these big stalwarts against the money, against the power, against the DMK brand, and how is he going to at least make a place for himself in Tamilians' hearts?
Look, nothing is impossible, right? If you look at what Annamalai is trying to do, obviously Annamalai is a very smart, bright individual, and he is trying to project himself as someone who is in the polar opposite of the current DMK leadership. Okay. So he says DMK leadership is based on their surname, based on their money power. He here is a guy who is coming from a very poor farming background, who made a name for himself through his sheer hard work, right? Being an IPS is very
civil servant.
And he is also very vocal and fierce. He started a series of releasing videos called DMK Files, exposing the corruption of the current DMK government, which reminds us of who, none other than Arvind Kejriwal.
That corruption, anti-corruption.
So he is someone, because Kejriwal also comes from a very important civil service position. He is an IRS officer. So same way, Annamalai is also trying to project himself as someone who is very bright, incorruptible and strong leader, which is against the current leadership of DMK.
Yeah. Let's hope he succeeds, but also he is backed up by, Modi has that huge faith in Annamalai. So
yeah, and Modi also is doing a lot of work. So like if you see Modi and Amit Shah, they spent quite a bit of time in Tamil Nadu in the last 2 years. And also if you see Modi put the Sengol in the middle of the ceremony when they opened the parliament building. The Sengol comes from Tamil Nadu culture, so it's a very important part of Tamil Nadu culture. So Modi does these things to remind Tamilian people that BJP is not against their culture.
Yeah, that reminds me of latest Modi's roadshow, which got really popular, and also Modi often tries to wear that Tamil costume, that panchakattu, just to try to tell people, just to give that assurance to Tamilians that BJP still respects Tamil culture, Tamil language, and he also often apologizes to people for not being able to speak Tamil, and he always appreciates Tamil as the oldest language of India.
Yeah.
So this explains how BJP is trying to slowly, walk into people's hearts.
Yeah.
So let's wait and see. But also let's get into the numbers actually. Tamil Nadu contributes to 39 seats in Lok Sabha.
Yeah.
So tell me exact number. Try to guess that number game.
So I think DMK is too strong, like you mentioned, to lose this time, because BJP fighting alone means that the opposition vote is getting split between AIADMK and BJP. So DMK is going to have a relatively straightforward win, but I think in terms of numbers, they might win 30 odd seats, and then BJP would get 5 to 6 seats, and then BJP's allies might get a few seats. But the main thing that Annamalai has promised is that he's promised to increase the vote share of BJP from 3.5% to around 20%. This will help them in the 2026 assembly elections, where BJP wants to replace AIADMK as the main opposition.
So to wrap it up, we would say that BJP is not too greedy about Lok Sabha elections. They are not daydreaming. They know that DMK is going to sweep the game, sliding victory for DMK. But Annamalai Kuppusamy for BJP is working hard. He's putting his sweat and blood to lay out that foundation, strong foundation for BJP for the upcoming assembly elections. So let's wait and see how BJP is going to create waves, and maybe BJP will create a record as the national party to penetrate into Tamilians' hearts. And also Annamalai reminds me very much of young Modi in Gujarat. So who knows, he may well be the next Prime Minister of India. What say? We really hope you enjoyed this discussion, which is very interesting for us. We enjoyed the process. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.